Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, time for another blind commentary. And it's time for more Pinkie Tales. An episode came out a while back. Wasn't able to react to it for a while, even though I want to. I like the series and am pretty eager to continue it, but there was other stuff to deal with, and couldn't get to it until now. And this one is a second Discord Tales, so that should be fun. And the title is The Alicorn and the Pea. So obviously we're doing The Princess and the Pea, which is a fairy tale I'm honestly not that familiar with. I know I've heard it before, but I don't really remember how it even goes. So yeah. I might not be as up on the parody aspect of this one, but I'm sure I'll still enjoy it. And I don't even know what to really predict. Obviously, we're going to have an Alicorn for our princess. Not sure which one, but yeah, the princess in the story will be one of the Alicorns. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm sure it'll be pretty good. Anyway, not really anything else to say, so let's just go ahead and get this started. Okay, and here we go. Discord Tales.
Discord Tales, the Alicorn
and the Pea.
Well.
Hey, Discord.
Look who decided to come crawling back.
Ooh.
They are
Fluttershy too?
Discord.
Aww.
Ironies
Cute.
look lost upon me, my dear.
My dear.
As I was
Shep.
saying, I knew it was only a matter of time before you little ponies realized my superior storytelling prowess and begged for me to return.
Or Pinkie Pie caught a cold and needed some pony to fill in. So I volunteered, and Discord practically begged me to come along.
What was that?
Nothing. Please continue.
Why, thank you.
Wow.
I shall humbly reclaim my storytelling throne, but only this once. Next time, I shan't be so easily swayed for your pony pleasure.
You're too kind, Discord.
Tonight's tale will
Well, it's cool that we
be
get Fluttershy too. I wonder if she'll have some input on the story.
The Alicorn and the Pea, and told by the best storybook reader you've ever heard.
Pinkie Pie.
Aww.
That's a strange pronunciation for Unky Discord. No matter. Once
Here we
upon
go.
a time.
In the distant land of Topsy-Turvia, there lived a regal, benevolent, chaotic, and devilishly handsome queen.
Oh, woe is me, for I, the queen of this land, have searched high
Oh,
and
Discord.
low for a suitable Alicorn to wed my beloved son, the prince. But alas, no such true Alicorn can be found.
And
well, that's all the ones I would have thought of.
Alicorns didn't count because...
The queen's advisor asked, levitating a parchment with her magic that contained the names
It's
and
good to see
faces of
Sunset.
4 famous
That's cool.
Alicorns, all having been crossed
Advisor.
off by the queen.
Too old, too overly saturated by the fandom, too pink, and too OCD.
Too
No
pink.
Starlight Sparkle, this will
Can't have too
never
pink.
do.
The queen said, flopping onto her throne in a huff.
Sunset Shimmer, Your Majesty. And if you're not satisfied with the only Alicorns in the land, then perhaps another bride would be better suited for your son? Someone in his own species?
Oh.
Sunset said, glancing over at the prince who was dreamily looking out the window with his tongue hanging out the side of his mouth. He was a dragon,
else?
though an oddly proportioned one at that,
Who?
and never seemed to quite understand anything that was going on around him.
Yeah,
He
that
never
sounds
spoke,
about
but
right.
Instead made odd gurgling noises and the occasional shriek. The queen laughed dismissively, twirling her crown in her claw and holding a twily cane in her paw.
Of course.
How absurd,
Gotta have Twilight Cane.
Twinkle Glimmer. My
Twinkle
son
Glimmer.
deserves only the best. And besides, pony hybrid babies are all the rage.
Yeah.
Sunset shuddered at the thought.
Isn't that right, son? See? Clear as day.
Right. Well, I suppose if we expanded our search beyond our borders, we might be able to find another Alicorn to your liking, Your Majesty.
Sunset started, but was
Who's
cut
this
off
gonna
when
be?
a loud knocking could be heard from the front door.
Whoever could it be at this hour?
Sunset Shimmer raised an eyebrow in confusion and looked out a nearby window to see that it was
Nice
still
smiling
daylight.
sun.
A perfectly reasonable hour for visitors.
Yeah.
However, with a snap of the Queen's claw, the sun disappeared from the sky and was rapidly
the moon!
replaced by the moon. In addition, she magicked a series of storm clouds that began to rain, with the droplets falling backwards from the ground to the sky.
Of course.
Whoever was outside the door screamed out in surprise. Sunset quickly opened the large double
Starlight.
doors to save their guest from
Cool.
the Queen's chaotic magic. A striking purple unicorn mare wearing
Very
a long
striking.
dark cloak covered in rainwater was shivering on the front steps.
Sorry for the intrusion. My name is Starlight Glimmer.
Really good Starlight
I was
voice.
separated from my friends in a series of strange occurrences that seemed to happen rather suddenly once I entered this kingdom.
She said, trailing off when the pair of ponies spied a quesadilla monster chase down a purple alicorn, who screamed in distress. in the
Quesadilla
background,
monster.
followed by a flock of flying bananas
She is
who
afraid of
called flight
quesadillas.
police as
Nice.
they attempted to get out of the
Nice.
That
Like,
happens.
reference
around
to an
here
obscure
more than
detail.
you'd think. You'd better come in. Not that it's much better inside the castle.
wow. Oh,
Who is
really like
it,
this art
Sparkle
style.
Surprise?
The Queen asked nonchalantly. She teleported out of her throne and next to the visitor.
Queen
Starlight
Discord.
Glimmer, Your Majesty.
Another one? How many versions of you Twilight, Starlight, Shimmering Glitter Sparkles are out there? And they call me the crazy one. So, Nightlight Sprinkles, are you
Nightlight
supposed to be
Sprinkle.
the next Alicorn on the list?
Alicorn?
Yeah, just a
The mare
unicorn.
started, but when the Queen pulled her cloak away,
Oh.
sure enough, there were a pair of wings tucked in at her sides.
Well, alright then.
What the? Where did these come from?
Sudden
Oh,
wings.
come now, as if we all didn't see this coming. Princess Do-Goody got her wings in a one-part mid-season finale. Shimmy Sham here got hers in a music video. Your
did
Twilight
she?
3.0. It's only a matter of time. I'm just
Oh, I guess
speeding up
the-
I
process.
think
those were more
there's been
symbolic.
A big mistake. I just needed a place to stay.
Because, I mean,
the
she's been back to
night. Don't
Equestria now,
pass.
and she doesn't have
I'm
wings.
a unicorn, I swear. I don't know how I got these.
Starlight said in exasperation, flailing her wings about, unsure how to control them.
We shall see.
The Queen said, stroking her beard in contemplation.
Stroking
Come, my
her
dear.
beard.
Warm your hooves by the fire while my trusty assistant and I prepare your room for the evening.
The Queen picked Starlight up from the floor and swept her into the den. Soon after, the Queen returned again
That
with the
face.
prince in tow,
That's
plopping him
perfect.
beside her and pushing the pair of them together.
Yeah.
Let's get acquainted. You know, in case
This
it
is
all
going
works
to-
out.
The Queen
Yeah,
said,
just
before
work out
teleporting
perfectly.
away with Sunset Shimmer.
Before
Gonna
all
be a
what
natural
works
connection.
out, what is going on?
Starlight asked in a mixture of confusion and anger. She looked up at the prince and her eyes widened. She'd never seen a dragon or any creature as unique and intimidating as him.
Yeah.
Starlight chuckled
Intimidating.
awkwardly, taking a
I
step
don't know
away
about that.
from her. The prince responded by scooting closer. And the prince leaned his head down to her level, staring intently while she chuckled nervously.
That's a bit creepy.
Should have stayed outside.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Oh.
the Queen and Sunset Shimmer were preparing a room
More
for
really cool
Starlight
art.
for the evening.
I need a test. One that will prove she is a true Alicorn. But what could it be?
I like the movement.
The Queen said, pacing back and forth while Sunset fluffed the pillows on the bed with her magic.
Why does it matter that the pony be an Alicorn again?
Oh, because every pony knows that every Alicorn is a princess.
Yeah.
And I must have a true princess to wed my son.
Then you're really just looking for a princess, right? Can't you tell if some pony is a princess if they have a kingdom to rule? Maybe some pony subjects that could vouch for.
Silly twinkly starshine. Any
Never gonna
princess
get
can
that
have a
right, huh?
crown, a kingdom, a scepter, adoring crowds, and servants to cater to their every need. That doesn't make them a true princess. No, what makes them a true princess is passing a ridiculous test that no other pony could ever possibly hope to pass. I've got it!
the queen said, snapping her claw and producing a tiny green pea with her magic.
What's that for?
Oh, you ponies, so oblivious to the obvious. This, my dear, is the test. I shall put this tiny pea under the mattress, and if she is a true Alicorn princess, then she will feel the pea and won't sleep a wink. Princesses are sensitive, more so than other ponies. You eat the tiniest bit of chaos, and their little feelings get hurt, so they turn you to stone. Sensitivity like that can only come from a privileged Alicorn.
The queen deduced. She lifted the mattress and placed the pea in the center of the frame before lowering it down again. The queen pursed her lips and looked at the bed quizzically.
Any old ordinary Alicorn could feel a pea under just one mattress. I know! Let's make it 100!
Yeah!
The queen said in delight, snapping her claw and piling one mattress on top of the other.
And blankets! 50 of them as well!
In another snap of the claw, the bed had 50 new blankets on top of the highest mattress. The bed was so massive that the tower had to extend to accommodate for its size, and Sunset Shimmer looked at it in complete confusion.
Yeah,
So
that's a
you want this
proper
cold,
reaction.
Wet and exhausted potential princess to have a terrible night of no sleep because that will somehow persuade her to stay and marry the prince.
Oh, yes! A true princess will see this bed and won't think anything
It's all pretty logical.
strange, but she'll still feel the influence of a tiny vegetable under the bottom mattress and not be able to sleep. That's right, kids. Your fairy tales make about as much sense as I do. I couldn't have written a more ridiculous premise than this if I tried.
A little while later, the queen escorted Starlight to her room. She took one look inside and her heart dropped, eyes widening in shock. It was the precarious nature to which the mattresses were piled and the overall height of the bed. One wrong move and it looked like it would topple over.
There you go, dear. A nice soft bed for you to sleep in.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Now, up you go for a good night's sleep.
I know I never mentioned this, as it wasn't particularly relevant until now, but I'm terrified of heights. Are you sure there isn't another bed somewhere safer?
Starlight asked, shaking on her hooves. The queen merely laughed and teleported Starlight to the top of the bed monstrosity.
That's a good one, Sunshine Sprinkles. Imagine that, an Alicorn afraid of heights. What will these ponies think of next?
I am not an Alicorn!
Starlight started, but the queen was gone long before she could finish her sentence. Starlight immediately grasped onto the giant bedpost for dear life. She wasn't sure how it was possible, but it seemed like she was hundreds of feet in the air whenever she dared to look over the side. She attempted to ignite her horn and get back on solid ground, but the sheer altitude from atop the bed
could always try using those wings that you got.
Stuck.
Okay, Starlight, you can do this. You've been through worse. You faced a hive of changelings, a shadow pony, Pinkie Pie on a sugar bender. You can handle this. This is nothing. What's that?
Oh. That's weird.
That can't be good. That can't be good. That can't be good. Oh, what would Twilight do? Think, Starlight, think. Maybe I can fly off. No, that's crazy. I don't even know if these wings are real. I don't know if any of this is real.
That is a good point, though. It's
Help!
hard to say what you can trust here.
The next morning, the queen and the prince eagerly awaited to see if their Alicorn guest had slept through the night. Sunset Shimmer was sent to retrieve her from her room around breakfast time, and when she returned, Starlight Glimmer was with her, and looked simply dreadful. She had deep bags under her eyes, her mane was messed, and her pupils were as small as pinpricks. She was crouched close to the ground like she never wanted to be apart from it ever again.
Ooh, why, this is promising, I must say.
Yeah.
Sky
All because of the pea.
Did you sleep well?
Sleep? I didn't sleep
at all!
Starlight said, choking on her words, her tone still tinged with terror.
You passed!
The queen exclaimed, pulling on a cord that appeared beside her head, which released a series of balloons, confetti, and a banner with the queen's picture giving a thumbs up and the printed words, "You did it," in bold letters. As the confetti fell, the prince stuck out his tongue and let one of the pieces delicately land on his tongue before eating it.
Passed? Passed what?
The test to see if you truly were an Alicorn princess worthy enough to marry the prince, of course. I hid a pea under all the mattresses, knowing that only a true Alicorn princess is sensitive enough to feel it, and therefore be too uncomfortable to sleep. At long last, my son can finally settle down with a pony worthy of making me hybrid grandbabies.
Yeah, just what
Suddenly at Starlight's side, his long
I love some of this art.
face,
That's great.
causing her to immediately go rigid. She stood silent and still,
Oh.
the only movement coming from the
Poor
twitch
Starlight.
of her eye.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Sunset said, backing away in anticipation.
Are you kidding me? You were testing me? I didn't feel a pea. I was clinging onto the bedpost for dear life. How many mattresses did you pile on that bed? There was no additional support. The entire thing wobbled all night. I was sure it was going to fall. It was so high, it shorted out my magic. And I am not an Alicorn. I don't know why I have these wings, but I certainly can't fly with them. I was awake in sheer terror all night. What kind of pony, Alicorn or not, would want to marry some pony who put them in danger for a stupid test? I'm out of here!
Good call.
Oh, pooh. I was so sure you were the right Twilight parody for the job. I guess you were supposed to be the Alicorn all along, Shimmy Shine.
The queen said, snapping her claw and taking away Starlight's wings, only to give them to Sunset's shimmer instead. Starlight didn't hesitate, bolting out the door once she was made a unicorn again.
Good for you, Starlight.
Free!
Sunset's shimmer started, inspecting her wings in bewilderment. As she did so, the prince's face inched closer and closer to hers.
True love conquers all.
Wait, I didn't sign up for
The end.
Wow. That,
Oh dear.
Oh, what's this? Aren't they supposed to be asleep?
the video's only like half over.
Off.
Well, Discord, your story was interesting, but
Very interesting.
scary.
Scary? What on earth are you talking about? My story was flawless.
Well, there was a killer quesadilla and terrifying heights, and not to mention a dragon. Maybe the babies were a bit too frightened to fall asleep. Fluttershy?
Oh.
What's going on?
Oh, you don't look good.
What are you? What are you doing here? Oh, Pinkie Pie, you look just awful. What are you doing out of bed? Pound and Pumpkin's crying woke me up. What did he do this time? I'm so sorry. I think Discord's story might have frightened Pound and Pumpkin. Maybe just a little.
Every pony's still a critic, I see.
Wow.
There was nothing at all wrong with the story.
Yeah, nothing.
I
Nothing.
can't help it if you ponies have bad taste in comedy.
Move over. I'll tell them a real story.
And you could leave it to Fluttershy.
Pinkie Pie, you're too sick. I'll tell the twins a story
Yeah.
to get them to go to sleep. Would you like that, Pound and Pumpkin? Aww, a sweet story by you should do just the trick, Fluttershy.
Ah, this will be nice.
Oh, now see here. When Fluttershy said I could take over story time based upon Pinkie Pie's sudden ailments, she theoretically signed a verbal contract dictating that all stories therein must be told and performed by the one and only Draconicus Lord of Chaos, Discord, etc., etc. Any breach of said hypothetical contract gives all licensing rights to the series Pinkie Tales to Discord, which will promptly be renamed Chaos Tales and undergo an aggressive rebranding.
Discord? If you wanted another chance, all you had to do was ask. What? But, Fluttershy, you sweet story?
You want sweet? I'll give you downright.
Yeah, I don't know how promising that is. So we got 2 stories in this one.
In the magical land of Horsequestria,
Horsequestria.
there lived a lovely queen and a particularly picky prince. The queen, Horsemom, had tried for years to find the right princess for her son to wed. However, the prince would only accept the best and truest princess to be his bride. Thus far, no princesses had won his favor.
I, the perfectly boring, correct-gendered prince, must have the perfect princess for my bride. Oh, are you quite sure we have to start this one from the beginning? Already bored.
Hold on. How come this is the first time you've actually interrupted your own story?
And
why did you drag me here again to narrate? That first narrator sounded perfectly fine to me.
Yeah, that was a good narrator.
There was no first narrator. That was me.
Oh.
I can do all sorts of things to my voice.
Change it.
Throw it. Add unnecessary audio effect.
Cool.
I figured if these were called Discord tales, they might as well be narrated by Discord. But that's not the way Pinkie wants it. So, here we are. Predictable, I know. And seeing how Pinkie scared away all the other narrators, you were our unlucky winner.
You narrated it. That's not what the name says in the credits, Discord. Narrator 1 is chaotic.
Yeah.
I get it. So the Great Lord of Chaos is mimicking narrators now. Great.
A bad pun I surely couldn't pass by, especially since puns are what the Pinkie Tales franchise is built upon. Isn't this the part where you narrators insist on getting back to the story, no matter how dull they may be?
Fine.
Where was I? Oh, yes. How will I ever find one to suit me, Mother?
Horsemom frowned and pulled her son into a sappy and cootie-filled hug to comfort him. As she did so, they heard a knock at the door.
Who could that be? It's pouring normal rain outside. Appropriately, an appropriate hour of the night.
Horsemom asked, opening the door to her own castle for some reason, as there didn't seem to be many servants around.
Wow. Oh.
On the doorstep before her was a small yellow pony with a pink soft mane, drenched in mud and water.
Ah, so this is a Fluttercore story, is it? I suppose it can't be a Dyslestia one, since she's playing the role of the queen.
Yeah, that would be
You're
weird.
going to do this the entire story, aren't you?
Oh, don't pretend you don't love it. You know you want me, baby. Something tells me someone's going to get angry at me for using that phrase without permission.
Mag owes me so much for this.
Okay.
The pony had big wavering anime eyes and a quiver in
Anime
her
eyes. Wow.
Forgive my intrusion, dear queen, but I am a princess, even though I'm just a Pegasus, and I have been tragically separated from my servants on a long, perilous journey. Might I come in and spend the night away from the storm?
The princess asked, as the music in the background became louder, while the camera panned over to Horseman, who you could tell was sympathetic by the tragically sad look on her face.
Of course, dear, come in. You are a princess, you say?
I am Princess Waifu Shy. Thank you for your hospitality. Do you like that one? Came up with the name myself. I know how much the fans love a good ship.
Pinkie Pie?
Just kidding. It's still me.
What the? Ugh! Discord! Are you really that bored? Or are you just trying to make it your mission to tick me off?
Oh, it's just killing you, isn't it? Can't say bad words in front of the little ones. This is Magpie Pony's channel, after all.
Waifu Shy curtsied, and the prince begrudgingly returned the gesture, before turning to his mother.
How are we to know
It's a
that
really
she
cute
is
Celestia.
a real princess? It could have been any pony off the streets pretending to be a waifu.
The prince said, like the picky little brat he was.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you want, I could just go.
Nonsense. Come, child. Warm yourself by the fire, while my son and I prepare you a room.
Horse Mom said, ushering the poor filly towards the cracking but otherwise boring fireplace. The prince,
Love the
still
narration
skeptical,
here.
followed his mother
Just
from
the things that
room.
we're throwing in.
Patience, my dear, for I know of a test that will prove if this mare is indeed a true princess of your liking.
That's not the only requirement I have, you know. She must also sound lyrical, laugh at my jokes, be exceedingly beautiful. Although, let's be honest, none can exceed my own beauty. Oh, and I almost forgot, she absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, must be perfect in every way.
All of these things will be made clear by my test.
I think you just enjoy testing your subjects, don't you, Queenie Sunbutt? Oh, wait, I mean mother.
The queen instructed several servants to meet her and the prince in the highest room of the tallest tower, with exactly 20 downy mattresses, 20 quilted blankets, and a small green pea. She knew that only a real princess would be sensitive enough to feel the little pea under all the mattresses and blankets. And if she was a real princess, then she would be the one for her son. For the love of Discord!
What? Oh, it's you. Wake me when this story is over, will you? Now I know why you use these to get the twins to sleep.
You're making this so difficult! Flutter's waifu shine was escorted to the tower
gotta get the name
shortly
right.
after the room was completed. When she was ushered inside, she looked confused, but didn't speak up at the strange sleeping arrangements. She thanked the queen and prince and retired for the evening.
Why is it Fluttershy gets to go to sleep in this story, but I can't take a nap?
I thought it was waifu shy. Can't you keep your character straight?
With enough interruptions. Can you?
You are so lucky I am on Mag's channel right now. The next morning, the queen and the prince eagerly awaited waifu shy at breakfast to see the outcome of the test. When she arrived, she looked much more put together than the night before, though she did yawn quite loudly as she was seated.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just a bit tired.
Oh? How did you sleep, my dear?
Waifu Shy wasn't sure how to answer that question. She hadn't had any sleep at all thanks to the tiny pea under the mattresses. But she didn't want to admit to the queen that she wasn't the perfect hostess to visiting royalty. She presumed that a little white lie might be better than offending the queen. After all, princesses were taught to be kind, and bite their tongues when something...
Hey!
What?
How have you been? You seem
Wow!
You know what? I am done. I don't care. I don't care what this is Mag's channel.
Well, it seems I've lost the narrator. And so, to this boring story, I say the end.
Good job.
They didn't hear me. The end.
We've still got 10 minutes left.
The
So
end. The end!
I don't think that's going to work, Discord.
That would work perfectly fine on Pinkie Pie.
Wow. Well, she's sick, so kinda understandable.
We're just going to have to try something else.
And what, pray tell, do you have in mind to make them stop spewing that horrendous noise?
It's not their diapers. They're fed. I know they're tired. I just don't know.
It's the story, isn't it? Not good enough yet. Take 3. Once upon a time.
I promised myself I wasn't going to narrate for Discord again. I made that promise. But the real chaotic is missing. Lost is still somewhere reeing into the sunset. And here I am. So you know what? I'm gonna narrate this one my way. There's this far-off kingdom ruled by this queen of sorts. Only she's a bit of a bohemian, and she has this particular
Queen Treehugger.
problem.
That's
She's got
that's
this
interesting.
kid that she wants to marry off.
Different.
But all the neighboring kingdom's princes take one look at her kid and begin to question the actual requirements for being royalty these days.
Wow.
And they go kind
Blue
of
blood.
into a mental breakdown. See,
Whatever
her
happened to
kid's
that
a bit
guy?
of sap. You could say she's real stiff. The possibilities of puns are endless here, because she is a tree. I mean, I figured Treehugger might try to claim some plant-based life forms somewhere in her ancestry, but she's actually trying to pass this tree Bloomberg off as the princess of her land. So after some time has passed, hippie mom goes to her kid all upset because she's failed, and she's like,
I am so totally bummed that I haven't found you the right soul
This is
partner
great.
with whom you can share an eternal bond. But like, don't let those other princes
Treehugger is
vibe.
always amazing.
It just means that they aren't princey enough to handle all your positive karma.
But as she's amping up those hippie stereotypes, there's a suspiciously well-timed knock on their front door.
Salutations and blessings to you, traveler.
Hey there.
No. I can handle Bloomberg and Treehugger, but you're making the Prince Featherbeaver.
Who?
Feather Bangs.
Okay.
That's what I said.
That's
You know what? I'm not even going to give you the chance to respond.
Didn't recognize him because of all
unlike the other narrators in this story, I have a pretty accurate
accessories.
sense of power that I actually wield. So before you go and say something that you and I both know everyone will regret, I'm just going to ignore all these details that you're throwing at me to make me break, and I'm going to push on. So, ha!
I'm from a distant kingdom, and I heard you were looking
Oh,
for a
this'll be
handsome
interesting.
prince to sweep your princess off her hooves.
Actually, she has roots that tie her to our Mother Earth, and disrupting that connection might emotionally and physically scar her. But I can tell that your heart was in the right place. Come in and make yourself comfortable. I think you'll find the aura of this place to be quite calming and welcoming.
Yeah, sure, okay. So can I meet her?
She's in the throne room, which is actually made entirely of organic materials. We don't have to disrupt our environment to classify ourselves as royalty.
So Justin makes his way towards the princess. And at first he's skeptical, but then he sees his reflection shining back at him from the ripe apples on the princess's branches, and he decides that she's the most beautiful princess he's actually ever met. So he's on board.
This just might be the most attractive tree I've ever seen. I'll totally marry her.
Yeah,
That's
marry the tree.
righteous, but I'm still not getting a clear vibe from you, and I can't let my sapling marry just any pony. I'm sure after some meditation and a good night's sleep, I'll have aligned my chakras and can make a more clear decision.
Even though I get the feeling that Treehugger would be the last pony to make someone pass a test to marry her tree, we're just gonna have to ignore that because reasons. She has a few other ponies bring her a biodegradable, environment-friendly mattress to Justin's room, along with whatever organic vegetable was left over from dinner.
You summoned me, Your Highness.
Oh, righteous, a garden pea. That's exactly what I need. In order to give my eternal blessings for this union, I need to be sure that the prince can sense the emotions of all the earth's bounty. So, I need you to sleep under the mattress. If he can, feel you
Discord's
under
the
there
bee.
and rescue you, then
That's
I'll
great.
know he cares for the well-being of every pony.
Oh, well, are you sure one mattress is enough? It might be too easy for him to feel my presence.
Yeah, you look a little big.
There's no need to waste more materials. And I highly doubt more mattresses will emphasize the point of this test.
So after all that exposition dump, Pony Beaver makes his way to bed, but when he lays on the mattress, he senses what any normal pony would in this given situation. What with a Draconequus-sized vegetable literally lifting it off the ground? Something's not right.
Huh, I can't seem to get my beauty sleep on this one.
Ow!
It's like there's something trying to keep me from being my picture-perfect self.
Perhaps he didn't hear me. Ow!
Yeah, I just sense that something's off here. Something just doesn't bode.
Are the cake twins asleep yet?
The next morning rolls around and preteen Scream approaches the queen holding a mangled pea in his hoof, and he's like,
So I couldn't sleep very much last night till I discovered this green thing under my mattress.
Ow!
Next time, you might want to check under there before you have visiting royalty.
That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. I put it under there to test you for some reason, and you passed. You have my blessings and positive vibes to marry the princess.
I guess the moral of that story is when your in-laws give you a ridiculous test or put you under some undue scrutiny, it's best to just smile and take it, because at the end of the day, even they know it's stupid and unnecessary, but it sure is fun to watch you struggle.
Wow. Great moral.
And did it work that time?
Looks like it.
So, aren't
That's
they
adorable,
just
too.
So adorable
Fluttershy.
when they sleep?
Oh, yes. Diabetes inducing.
Wow.
No! Wait!
Wow.
I give up!
What's going on in here?
Wow, that's
Fluttershy?
this art style makes even
What are you two doing here?
Mr. and Mrs.
Pinkie
Cake
Pie
look
was
adorable.
Too sick to tell the twins a story tonight, so we volunteered to help. But no matter what we tried, they just can't seem to stay asleep.
That's because the twins caught the cold too.
Ah.
They're always fussier when they don't feel good.
Didn't Pinkie Pie tell you they were sick?
Nope. Let's just call this payback. Phew! I knew Fluttershy would bring you along Discord, and you wouldn't be able to resist trying
Oh,
to
Pinkie
impress
Pie.
them by getting them to sleep, even though that's almost impossible right now.
Pinkie Pie, the evil mastermind.
Oh, you got me, Pinkie Pie. Don't
Oh.
ever do this to me again.
Discord. Can't really take a prank, I guess. Well, there we go. Waifu shy. Oh, what is next time? Slumberjack. Okay. Oh, so Sleeping Beauty. Okay. But with Applejack? Alright. There we go. Well, there we go. That was pretty fun. I enjoyed that. I wasn't expecting 3 versions of the same story in it, but they were different enough that it was still pretty consistently fun. I think the second version was actually my favorite. Even if I think there were a bit too many interruptions. I know that was a lot of the point there was Discord just being obnoxious and all the narrator interaction, but I kind of liked the stuff around that, just the things that were being slipped into the narration, the names, and just how the story was kind of making fun of itself there. That was fun. The first one was also pretty good. It was like what you'd expect from Discord, just about. Just a really weird, very Discord-centric version of the story. And that was good. And it's good to see Starlight and Sunset. And, yeah. It was also kind of making fun of the premise of the original story by trying to kind of subvert it. And, yeah, which is, like, not just what you'd expect from Discord, but from Pinkie Tales in general, is that kind of thing. So yeah, that one was the most normal in terms of being the most like what I would expect. But the other two were great just because they were different. And the second one, all that waifu shy. And yeah, the third one, Tree Hugger and Featherbangs and just weird characters. But it was great too because of that. Because we had just something very different in it, because it was so Tree Hugger. And Tree Hugger's great. I mean, I really hope there's another episode with her eventually, because that would be excellent. Also, lots of great art for this, like, I think more than most of these have. I mean, lately they've all had pretty great art, but this one had some really nice looking stuff in it, some super adorable just art of the characters, and it was yeah, just pretty consistently great. I mean, it wasn't pretty consistent in terms of there being very different styles involved, but it was all really nice to look at. And yeah, the narrators were fun. It was all well acted, I guess. I mean, can't really complain. The Starlight sounded good. That really had the same sort of vocal quality as Starlight. I mean, it didn't quite sound like her, but it had that same sort of quality, and that made it kind of stand out. And yeah, most of them pretty good. Discord was good. Fluttershy was good. And yeah, it was all just pretty well done. So yeah, good video, and I'm really looking forward to the next one, Sleeping Beauty with Applejack, Slumberjack, which is fun because it's like lumberjack, but yeah, slumber. But I could tell it was Sleeping Beauty because we had like the logo thing kind of looked like Maleficent, so yeah, I'm guessing that's what we're going for there. And that'll be great. That'll be pretty cool. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what is done with that. Not really anything else to say. I think that pretty much covers it. Hope you liked the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.